So once I get those phone numbers, how do I make people answer a call when they don't know your phone number? Ashley, what do I do to make somebody answer their phone when I'm calling them and they don't have my number?
You repeatedly call them.
You repeat that sounds illegal, immoral, or unethical.
We like to call it psycho calling.
I text them with my name and who I am. That way, whenever I call, it shows up maybe Brady Wells. That way, it doesn't show up as unknown.
Yeah, with realtors, that's a move for sure. So, but in Zoom, we can't do that. So, because they make you opt in. So, but I think that, yeah, all you got to do, if you call somebody once, they don't know the number, they don't answer it. Most people don't. Call it the second time, they see the number and they get curious. And by the third time, they wonder if it's an emergency. And so usually you get a higher answer rate on the second and third time than you do on the first. But it has to be closely back to back. It can't be like I called him once, 3 hours later, I called him again, 3 hours later, I called him again. It needs to be in the format that I have right here. I go through 5 leads at a time. I call them, no answer, no voicemail. Right? We don't leave voicemails. Why don't we leave voicemails, you guys?
You say nobody ever checks them, but I leave a voicemail on the third round, and it seems to work out well for me. But
with realtors, it's slightly different, usually than clients. But I would make the phone call 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lead number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then go back through it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then go through it one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I don't do it that way, and it's been several hours, I'm less likely to get them to answer. And usually then for me, after the third one, I text them. And then when they answer, then what do we do? If I'm calling a realtor.
Read the script. We read the script.
What is the purpose of getting them on the phone? Is it to sell them on bringing us clients?
It is to set that appointment.
It's to set the appointment. It's not to convince them that we're the best builder in our area.
Just to connect with them.
It's basically to appeal to their wanting to make 2% for not doing jack.
That's true, kind of. But the purpose for calling them is not to convince them we are the best choice necessarily. It's not to tell them everything we offer. These are the mistakes I see people doing. They call them, they get them on the phone, they start telling them everything we do. Well, let me tell you about all the communities we have, and let me tell you where this location is and that location, and tell you about this floor plan or this price point, or they start just vomiting information on the realtor. That is not the purpose of the phone call. We have one purpose for the phone call, and that purpose is book an appointment. Can I build a long-lasting relationship with a realtor on the phone?
Yep. Well, no, but sometimes you can build good rapport to build the relationship.
Yeah, you certainly want to build rapport on the phone, right? To book an appointment. Every sales experience is rapport, needs, benefits, close, right? So you can do that in 3 minutes on a phone call and book an appointment. You can do rapport, needs, benefits, and close. But the purpose of the phone call is to get them standing in front of you. If you don't meet with that realtor face to face, it is highly unlikely they're going to bring you customers. Why are realtors apprehensive to bring buyers to us?
Because builders steal clients.
Because builders steal clients.
Or they've had a bad experience with a builder.
And if you haven't connected with them, they don't trust you.
Yeah.
I found mostly it's because they don't like John.
That's fair.
That is not fair. John is very likable. Come
I'm not
on.
even cantankerous. I'm sorry.
Cantankerous but likable, John. That's you.
I'm a lovable jerk.
But it's builders have stolen clients. They've had a bad experience in the past. But here's, I think, one of the big ones. It's ignorance of the process. They don't know how you take them through the process of building, right? And ignorance of the process is they don't want to bring somebody to you because they will look stupid. They want to drive the bus, just like we talk about with us, right? You guys, we want to drive the bus in the process. They do too. They want to drive the bus. Why do they want to drive the bus?
Well, they do get commission.
Go ahead,
I'm sorry.
Natalia.
Oh, well, they do get commission at closing, which is typically within 30 days if it's a resale property. With a build, they think it's going to take, a year to get paid on, so they don't even want to mess with that.
Yep, that's true. What were you going to say, Brady?
I forgot. Actually, no, it was that they want to be in charge. Like they don't want somebody else to tell them how things goes. Especially when they don't understand our contracts or the process. They don't want their client to feel like they're not leading them. And because down the line they're going to think, oh, well, they're going to do a better job than me. Well, then they're going to use them as an agent down the road. Which that's part of it.
Yeah, a lot of realtors are also working for the referral, right, to family and friends, sphere of influence. And they are also working for the future listing. They know that according to the National Association of Realtors, that people buy every 5 years on average. And they plan on trying to get the listing on that home you're going to build them 5 years from now. So they want to be the key person in this transaction so that they'll be used again in the future, because that's what they got trained on, right? Is referrals and future sales. So for you, you want to be driving the bus. For them, they want to be driving the bus. So why do we need to meet with them face to face? Because we need to overcome all these objections, and that's very hard to do on a phone call with them. You called them out of the blue. You didn't, they weren't expecting your call. You called them out of the blue. You can't just sit there and work through all their key objections to doing business with you on that first phone call, right? So that's why you got to book an appointment. And you got to get them in front of us. Why do we want them to come into our location and meet with us?
Home field
Because
advantage.
we're on the home sites. We have all the materials. We have, the finished product. We have the supplies we're putting in the home. We've got pretty much the map for what the whole thing's going to be right there in front of them.
Yeah, we got the whole dog and pony show there.
Because John's more likable in person.
That's a great answer. He's a lot prettier in person too.
True.
Mm-hmm.
This is true.
Aaron,
It's pick on John Day. It's like that.
No, it's
Bring
a
it on.
compliment.
Ty, what you got?
Well, how often do you run into realtors? You get an appointment booked, and then they're so busy, right? Like every one of them is so busy that constantly rescheduling with them.
What I always say is, of the realtors that say yes to an appointment and schedule it, my expectation is that there will be a 50% no-show rate. 50%. And that's probably conservative. I'm saying, if you get, there's levels of how good you booked it, right? Do they know that they're coming to meet with you on that day? Did they write it down while you're on the phone? If they repeat back to you, they repeat back to you, okay, I've got that on my calendar. We've got that for the 14th at 2:00, right? Now, and they're asking, are you going to send me a Google Map pin so I can find my way there? They're engaged in that booking, as opposed to they're just trying to get you off the phone. That is not as strong of a hook So if you do a good booking where they're engaged in it and planning on meeting with you, 50% of those people will no show you.